and John's Patreon buffet.
All right, Yuki, welcome back to Yuki and John's podcast buffet. And today we have a very special topic that was given to us by one of our beloved listeners. And let me look that person up real quick. It's at RP Canary PI on Twitter or X or whatever the fuck it's called right now. At RP Canary PI. And his name is J Henry / Canary PI. Oh wow, I guess they do short stories. Canary PI is a 16 short stories in audio form, horror, mystery, and noir. The series has concluded. You can listen at rpcanary.carrd.co. So yeah, look up RP Canary PI on X and I think on Blue Sky. They had a suggestion, Yuki. Drones.
Well, does he live in New Jersey?
I don't know if they live in New Jersey, but guess what? Before the election, at the end of last year, it was a hot topic. Everybody was talking about these goddamn New Jersey drones. It was insane. Nobody's talking about them now. We're going to put this out in probably April. Nobody's talking about the drones anymore. Everybody's talking about Trump, Elon Musk, this, that, and the other thing, but nobody's talking about these fucking drones.
Yeah, I think that could be again government conspiracy.
There's a lot of theories out there, Yuki. I read a couple of them. I would love to hear what you think. So you think it's a government conspiracy? How? How are the drones a government conspiracy? Like, in what way you think that the drones are? Do you think they're American drones, Chinese drones? Do you think that they come from another planet, from another universe, and another government, and another dimension?
American drone.
So you think it's American drones spying on its own American people?
Yeah.
For what purpose, Yuki?
Well, it's a destruction of the election.
Whoa! So you think it was a thing to distract from the election?
Yeah.
When did the drones start in Jersey? That was last year, earlier in the year, right? It wasn't like just at the end of the year. It was like October, maybe?
Yeah. Yeah, fall time. Before November, though, I think.
Right. So you think it happened before the election so what side do you think launched it? Do you think it was the Bidens or the Trumps?
It's a Trump side.
So you think they're Trump drones?
Yes, he has money.
Okay, so he has money, you said?
Yeah, plus the Musk. He was backing him, so maybe money came from him.
Oh. So you think they're Trump Tesla drones?
Yeah.
So what? Okay, so you think that they weren't doing anything nefarious other than just distracting people?
Yeah, just it's not like the drone itself cannot change the vote. It's just a distraction, I think.
Right. So why would they spend all that money to put drones in the air just to get people to go what and then not think about the election? They're still going to think about the election, right?
They can do it because they have money.
Right, but I would think that there would be a purpose to it. So one of the theories that I heard is that these drones are just like a Google Earth type of thing, but even deeper in that they could see through walls and stuff, and that they're literally mapping every inch of known existence. And they're testing out that technology on Jersey because Jersey's already weird as it is. But they started to notice these things, and people started to talk about them where they didn't think that they would because they thought that people would think that they were planes or something. This is not my theory. This is a theory I read that seriously the technology that they have on those drones can penetrate through walls and map every inch of existence, map every inch of a person, and that's what it's doing is like another Google Earth type of hologram,
Mm.
so that the government knows every single thing that there is to know about the Earth, where the weapons are, where the fucking drugs are, where the stockpiles are, where the fucking threesomes are happening, everything.
Well, if remember the movie the Conversation.
Yeah, just rewatched that after R.I.P. Gene Hackman. By the way, that's sad.
Okay, anyway, back then, 40 years ago,
Yeah.
that was 40, maybe 45 years. That was a movie, but I think it's happening. It's no more a movie story anymore.
Oh, well, the technology that they had in that movie was already frightening enough. Imagine what they have now. They could be listening to me from a whole state away. They what we have right here, right? I'm using a computer. They could just tap into my computer anytime and see what I'm looking at, see what I'm doing, see I'm talking to you.
Oh,
They could see what kind of porn I look up. Lesbian porn, Yuki. I'll look up that lesbian porn. That's what they don't need the drone for that. I'll tell everybody.
but they know everything what we do. Probably, your text, hey, Liz, I love you. They know that you said that.
Oh,
Hey, John, is tomorrow still okay? They know that, I think.
of course. You think that this thing, that this phone, isn't just like a tracking device? That's what it is, right? So who cares? I mean, I don't do anything. Okay, if somebody puts out, say, okay, because I used to think of this thing, right? And then South Park kind of did it, but before South Park did it, I was thinking of this concept called Dump Day, and I wanted to either write a novel or make some sort of a mini series called Dump Day, and it's all about the day that everybody's private internet information gets put out on social media. So, say all your Yuki Nakamura search history from the time that you got on the internet until now is all public record suddenly. It's dump day. They dump all the information online. So neighbors can look at your information. You can look at their information. You're a sick person. You looked up fucking gangbangs. Oh, you're sick. You looked up how to make an explosive device. And everybody starts to turn on each other because of their fucking public internet history record. What do you think about Dump Day, Yuki? Would you be ashamed to be a part of Dump Day, or would you feel protected?
I'm not protected, probably.
So you think that you think your neighbors would hate you for your internet history?
They don't care.
Right, because like I've looked up some crazy shit. Sometimes I'm looking up stuff for movies, right? And this is not in any way an excuse, but sometimes I'll be like, the evil, demonic possession or stuff like that. And I'm looking up these things to like try to figure out how to put it in a story or how to add it to something that I'm working on. But if you see that independently of the thing that I'm working on, you might think I'm just some crazy fucking Satanist, demonic worshiping crazy person. You know what I'm saying? So if you see the disconnect from the search to the real thing, that might be. But then sometimes there's people do nefarious shit. I mean, if anybody's looking up child pornography, that's fucking evil, and you should be put away, in my opinion, right? But if you're looking up some fucking like how to kill a person, silently without any that might be research for a movie. I'm not really trying to kill Liz, I swear. But that's scary because and this is straying further from drones into conspiracy theories and privacy and stuff like that, but that's what this is all about. Those drones, whether we like it or not, the fact that nobody's telling us what they are, what they're doing, is an invasion of our privacy.
And then they never found out, or I don't know if they found out, or suddenly, we don't hear news anymore. Like, well, what was that? We never knew, right?
Right. And even it's weird because people don't really post about it as much online anymore. I mean, people post about UFOs, UAPs, all that sort of stuff. But the specific New Jersey drone thing has died down.
Right.
I wonder why, and I wonder why Jersey.
I know. Why Jersey? It's a garden state.
I don't know. Maybe just because there's so much weird shit that happens there, or maybe I mean some theories were saying that the drones were going in and out of the ocean. So maybe because it's close to the ocean that the drones could go hide in the ocean and then pop out and come back, and then they can't be tracked once they're under the water.
Maybe since it's New Jersey, some kind of secret, you know, secret, some kind of headquarters.
Right. So that's a theory. Is that also that they're drones sent from the Hollow Earth? The lizard people are spying on us, and they're starting to their invasion.
Invasion. I think they're preparing Earth invasion.
Right. They're gonna come out from the Hollow Earth and take over the top levels. But again, why Jersey? Like, wouldn't it be smarter to like track DC or something, or the Pentagon, or maybe the military bases?
Well, I think they're smart. Everybody think, why Jersey? There's nothing in New Jersey. That's why they are there. It's close enough to New York, close enough to DC.
Aha. So maybe the technology that are on these drones, just because they're over Jersey, doesn't mean they can't see to New York or see to DC.
They are smart because it's New Jersey. Nobody thinks, it's New Jersey, but it's close enough to New York and DC, Boston, Philadelphia.
Right. And we're not disparaging Jersey. I actually really like Jersey. I love Jersey. In fact, I love the food there. I think the food there is amazing. I used to go to Wildwood, New Jersey, and go to the boardwalk when I was a kid and hang out there during the summer. I love the Jersey Shore. I love all types of stuff with Jersey. And when we say, why Jersey, what's there, we mean in terms of there's probably some military bases and things there, or but there's not like a specific headquarters that would make sense as part of invasion, right?
Yeah, right. I mean, it's. I think New Jersey, it's some
Camouflage, right? Or maybe it's just a test for the next phase.
I think so.
Interesting, Yuki. So drones. Have you ever flown a drone?
No, but I don't. I remember I did the documentary long time ago. Artificial intelligence and then robotics.
Right. I remember you telling me about this, and I believe it was behind the paywall on Patreon. So tell us a little bit about that project. That was a cool project. You talked to Noam Chomsky, right?
I went to his house.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what was the project exactly? It was about robotics and AI in the future?
Documentary that was for Japanese government.
So they were spying on us back then.
Yeah, Japan was, well, it was secret, but they wanted to know how far US was doing it.
And you were a spy. Yuki, you're a spy for the Japanese government this whole time.
No, well, I mean, we didn't hide it. We openly made the documentary, and then, we interviewed those scientists and then professors. That's why I went to, the Marvin, that the professor Chomsky's,
Noam Chomsky, yeah.
Noam Chomsky. He was head of MIT or something, I forgot what the department, but yeah. And then I interviewed him. I went to University of Utah, University of Ohio, Carnegie Mellon University. Yeah, so I did the documentary, and then oh my God, the Carnegie Mellon University the science department, they are making drones that time.
Oh yeah. What year was this? What year did you do this project?
1991.
Wow.
That's like 34 years ago.
I was in the 6th grade or something. Jesus Christ. You're out there fucking fighting AI. I'm in the 6th grade, barely able to wipe my ass.
And then it's amazingly, that time drone wasn't just, the flying thing. They're experimenting tank, like Humvee, chopper, all kinds of, and they're even studying those armor, soldier. Yeah, you remember G.I. Joe, first G.I. Joe?
Yeah, he had that weird body armor that was like electric.
There was something.
Nanobots.
Yeah. They're making that kind of armor.
Well, this is crazy. I won't say my cousin's name, but my cousin, he's in some sort of an engineering field, and he said one of the things that they're working, or that somebody's working on somewhere, are these nanobot drones that are seriously the size of a fly that could come in, record video, and then come out. And you as a person are just, they're like, oh, it's a fucking fly. Get out of here, fly. But you don't really know that it's a fucking piece of machinery.
There was a movie like that.
Oh.
Eye in the Sky.
No, what's that?
So US had this guy, and then he had this tiny bug, but it's camera. So, this insect machine goes somebody's house, but that's a headquarters of the terrorist. And then they saw those, they are preparing bombing. So they say, oh, this is the guy. This is the terrorist leader we are chasing. And then they're communicating to the military base. So they use drone to bombing the house. It's called Eye in the Sky.
Oh, I gotta check. Yeah, I gotta check this out. I love that kind of shit, like espionage, or and if it's based in reality, that's even more frightening.
And then this, drone operator, it's a goal, but then last more minute, these guards were selling in the bread in the street. So he couldn't, bombing it. So then, they did back and forth like, it's a goal. Oh, no, there is a guard. No. And then he goes, whoa, go ahead. Then, well, she is a casualty of the war. No, we can't kill kids. I mean, that kind of stuff. It's really, really interesting. And then Helen Mirren and then Alan Rickman, they're in it.
Oh, shit, that's a good cast.
Yeah. It's really, I mean, it wasn't big, I guess. It wasn't a big major movie. It's like an independent UK film. And then maybe they didn't have enough money to do the marketing, but it's a good movie. It's Eye in the Sky.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. That sounds good. I like those kind of movies where it's real life sort of espionage, sort of moral story kind of thing. But that's amazing, Yuki. So,
Then, anyways, the Carnegie Mellon, and then the students are, figuring, demonstrating. I said, what's that? Guess what? The funding are coming from Pentagon.
oh,
Student says, well, we don't want to study to make a, machine, killing machine. So students didn't want to do it. So they're picketing, like why we are making a, killing machine.
damn.
They're making, and then they show it to me. They said they program computer and let's say they program Saddam Hussein's face, and then you shoot the missile or a gun or those bullets go until hit the target individually.
Oh, so it won't explode on the wrong person. It will only find the target that looks like that.
Yeah. So if you look like Saddam Hussein, tough shit.
You're fucked.
You're fucked. They are, you know, kind of try to make it happen. It's interesting, yeah. And then you know, I was watching the test, and there's a Humvee. There's no driver. They programmed the route. I was standing in front of the Humvee. Humvee just coming towards me, and then in front of me, about a couple of feet, is stopped.
Damn. And that was like its own programming, or it was programmed. Oh, so it knew that something was in the way and it could reroute.
Stopped, and then it didn't go around. It wasn't that good yet.
Ah. But at least it didn't fucking kill you.
At least it didn't hit me. And then if I move, then start moving in again. So that time, 30 years ago, it's simple, it just go straight, stop, and go. It wasn't like, go right, go left, go, 120 miles to get the destination, then bomb it. It wasn't like that yet. But it's a middle of the experimenting machine.
Wow, you're lucky that you got to see stuff like that. That's really cool.
Yeah, but of course, 30 years since, so I'm sure machine is more expensive. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so I heard that whatever technology that we have now, that personally we have, so iPhone, laptop, all that stuff, that they already had that shit in the 50s. Yeah.
We don't have a transport yet, but beam me up, Scotty. It's not there, but those video phone, Star Trek, now we have it.
Yeah. So we have stuff that I bet you there's stuff that nanobots, they're probably really advanced in the private sector. We got fucking probably, what's really advanced is probably artificial limbs and things like that.
Remember that the robot and then Star Wars Phantom Menace?
Which robot?
Battle robot?
Oh yeah.
Those are already happening.
Really? The battle droids?
Well, they don't battle, but the same kind of robot, Japan is everywhere. You go some robot hotel. There's no human being. You talk to robot, then robot check in and.
Oh my God. The other day I went to I think it was BJ's, and they have the robot that like rides around and looks at to look at what needs to be restocked. There were so many people at BJ's, and there's all these carts, and the robot was just stuck going, because it couldn't move because there was so many people, and it seriously was making a noise going, and I kind of felt bad for the thing, but it doesn't have any feelings.
There's, if you go some restaurant, there's no waitress and the waiter because then the robot show up.
Wait, where's this? In Japan?
Tokyo, yeah.
There's robotic restaurants in Tokyo.
Yeah. And then there is a, tabloid in the table. So you order, and then robot brings your food and drink.
What? What if there's a mess up? What do you say? Hey, you fucking robot, you fucking asshole, you fucked up my order.
Well, no, they don't. It's actually better than human being.
Come on, that's crazy.
Yeah, but it's it's happening. I mean, they don't fight. It's not battle roid, but
yeah, you know what? That's crazy. Well, but then how do you how do you combat against vandalism and things like that? Does the robot have mace?
What do you mean?
So say a bunch of punks, a bunch of young Yakuza punks go into the Tokyo. The way I'm thinking is like an anime movie. They go into the fucking robot restaurant, and they sit down and they order some food, and then the robot comes over and they say, fuck you, robot, and they smack it or they hit it and they start laughing and they fuck with the robot. How does it defend itself?
Well, nobody does that in Japan. Strange.
You guys are definitely more advanced than us because do you remember this thing called the Hitchbot in America? It was called the Hitchbot, and it was supposed to hitchhike its way across the country. It was a little robot, and it had a tracker on it, and people knew about it. It was announced in the press and the media and stuff. And if you found the Hitchbot, you were supposed to take it on a little journey and then put it back out, and then somebody else would pick it up. And people thought that it would make its way. It got to Philadelphia, and the people in Philadelphia destroyed the fucking thing.
That's America. Well, no.
So America's never going to be able to have robot restaurants because there's going to be some assholes who go and is like, fuck you, robot.
That's American people. You know why? Do you know which country has the most vending machine?
I would say Japan.
Yeah, you know why? Because nobody vandalized the vending machine. It's just put the money, take the product, go away, and then nobody break and steal the coin.
And that's better because I would love to just have a vending machine that has decent food, and you can walk in, you get a sandwich, and you don't have to deal with anybody.
They have the ramen vending machine, like all underwear,
Underwear vending machine.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, you just go there, then look in your size, and then put the money, and then get the underwear.
In case you shit yourself? What? Why?
Well, what if you? Okay, you going out? You traveling tomorrow morning? You forgot the shopping, and then 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, you're packing. Then you realize, holy shit, I forgot to buy underwear. There is no store open, so you have to go vending machine to
At
buy
that point,
it.
I'm going free ball. I'm commando. You know what that is? Free ball and commando. When you don't wear underwear, it's you just don't wear the underwear. Why you gotta go fucking get underwear from a? See, I disagree with the vending machine for the underwear. The food, I get it, but underwear vending machine, it's like a fetish.
They have everything. Yeah, they have they have a beer, sake vending machine.
Beer and sake.
See, because everybody following the rule. Like no kids buying the beer. But if you have a beer or sake vending machine in this country, 2 years, 3 years old kid.
Oh yeah, 3-year-old kids would be hammered. It would be fucking.
That's why Japan has a safe. Everybody follow the rule. Look, if you drop the ball, it'll come back to you. That's Japan.
Wow. So maybe that's what they were doing in Jersey with the drones is they're mapping out the places that would be the best for the vending machines and the robots. They say, okay, these people are assholes who are going to destroy the robots. But this town, they seem like nice people. Let's put the underwear vending machine over there. That's we figured it out. That's what the drones were doing. They were figuring out what parts of America they could put in the vending machines. Oh my God.
Vending machine is a kind of drone.
It's an autonomous machine. Yeah. Well, drone isn't a drone the flying?
Well, okay. Drone has to be only flying machine.
I think, or maybe it could be like a roving, I think a drone has to be mobile. It has to move, right?
Okay, so the vending machine is not the drone, but as long as moving a vehicle without the driver is a drone. Then.
Maybe, yeah. I think that may be considered drone activity, but maybe flying. I don't know. Let's, as usual, we don't do any fucking research on this thing. So I'm gonna look up what drone is on the internet. DRONE.
Yeah, my
And we'll
understanding is drone, the moving machine without the driver is the drone. Doesn't have to be, flying thing. I mean, tank could be a drone if there is no driver, or Humvee, Jeep,
okay. So
submarine.
there's a lot of Okay, so here we go. There's a few the definition that we're looking for is there's two. This is the fourth definition of drone: a remote controlled pilotless aircraft or small flying device. And then the second one is a remote controlled or autonomous vehicle designed for use underwater or on land. So you're right, it doesn't necessarily have to be flying. As long as it's like its own self-driving or remote controlled machine vehicle.
So as long as no pilot, no driver, that's drone.
Yes, that's
So
a drone.
vending machine isn't a drone because
It's not moving, but vending machine is a vending machine. It's a robot. It could be a robot. Imagine vending machines took over the world. That should be a fucking movie. Like instead of remember Maximum Overdrive from Stephen King, we'll have Maximum Overeat, and it'll fucking the vending machines, instead of them getting the food from the vending machines, that the vending machines will eat people.
oh
Yeah, Yuki. We got to make a movie called Vending Machine Kill.
yeah.
Yeah. Killer vending machines, Yuki. You could design the shit out of that. And then, okay, here's another definition of drone. And it says to make a continuous low humming sound or a monotonous speech. So when somebody just keeps talking and talking, it's like this motherfucker won't stop droning on, droning on. There's like, and then when yeah, but you've met those people who won't stop fucking talking, and they don't let you say anything, like me to you. I don't ever let you. And I just keep going. Hey, you guys, you doing? You like the chicken? You like cheese? And you don't even wait for an answer. You just keep talking. That's a drone motherfucker. That's a person who's a droning fuck.
Sometimes you meet those people in the subway.
Oh yeah, those. Okay, that's a good. That's a good example. Like somebody who's not all there, who's obviously has some mental issues, who just sits there going, and then and they just keep talking, and it's like there's a soliloquy going on.
Right. So mentally ill people, that's a drawing.
Droning. It's a monotonous speech. And then the example is only 20 minutes of the hour-long drone had passed, meaning a droning. So somebody who just keeps talking and talking and talking, and sometimes it's just to hear themselves talk, and and then
Well, sometimes those subway people they talking more than 20 minutes.
they talk for 6 years. They just had the same conversation going on.
Yeah.
And then here's another definition: is a male bee in a colony of social bees, which does no work but can fertilize a queen.
It's a B word, huh?
That the bee is fucking the queen, man, and that they just droning that queen all day long. They say, "Hey, queen, you want me to drone you right now?" And the queen's like, "Yeah, drone me real good. Drone me so hard. Drone me. Drone my asshole."
Well, is that the mating thing? Or?
I'll read it again just in case we missed it. It's a male bee in a colony of social bees, which does no work but can fertilize a queen. So basically, a drone, a bee, is a male gigolo who just fucks. That's hot, Yuki. I want to be when I come back reincarnated, make sure I'm a drone bee who could just drone that pussy all night long.
Is it only one queen? Queen should be always one, right?
I think in the colony of bees, it's one. Yeah, you get one queen, but then isn't that incest? Beecest?
Beecest.
Yeah, because if you have one queen who could get fertilized by a bunch of drone bees, where do those drone bees come from? Who fuck her? She probably pregnant. She was probably birthing them.
So, so all brothers and sisters and different father.
It seems like that. It seems that way, Yuki, and then maybe that's why honey tastes so good. Okay, and then there's another definition: a person who does no useful work and lives off of others. A drone. We know a lot of those kind of people, Yuki.
Yeah,
We could name names, but we're not going to do it because we don't want to get sued. But we know a lot of motherfuckers like that.
yeah.
A lot of useless motherfuckers. And then here's another definition: is a continuous musical note of a low pitch. Drone. Drone. There's drone music, Yuki. You know about droning music?
No.
So, for example, there's this metal band called Sun. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's like Sun, and then they have a symbol next to the name. It's like it's like a O with parentheses next to it. Sun O or something like that. And they have a very droning, dark sound where they could hit one chord, and that chord could last for 3 minutes, where it's like, and that's what it sounds like. And sometimes
John Cage music.
John Cage, I'm sure, is a drone master. John Cage is droning like a motherfucker, except for 433, where he didn't do anything. That's a silent drone. That's
He came and sit in front of the piano 5 minutes and then left.
yeah. So there's his famous composition is 433, and it's 4 minutes and 33 seconds of silence. And when he performs it live, he seriously sits down in front of the piano, sits there for 4 minutes and 33 seconds, gets up, walks away, and people are like, "Oh, oh, oh."
That's bull. I was there in the backstage. Bullshit. Like, if people think this is the, art or music, I think that's a full of shit.
It's avant-garde, Yuki. It's conceptual. It doesn't have to be real. I think John Cage did it, but anybody else who does that, because I've seen other people do that then, where they put they title something, some sort of a title, and then it's a silent thing, and the artist goes, "You're supposed to make the music in your mind," or some shit like that. Fuck that. John Cage did it once. He was clever enough to do it once. Let him be the only one who ever does it. If you do it, you're a fucking copycat droning asshole.
Remember last year, the like a whiteboard, and they put in the banana. There was a couple of $1 million in the auction. Do you remember the news?
I don't remember that, but I've heard of paintings or art pieces much like that. Yes. But oh wait, no, I did hear about this, and you're supposed to replace the banana yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, so some asshole bought it for like millions of dollars, right?
Yeah.
And so the banana rots, of course, and then you're supposed to replace it with a banana.
Then what kind of bullshit is that? But still, people pay for that. A couple $1 million? That's crazy.
There's some art out there. Look, no offense to any artist. If you're an artist who's trying to make something, and I say there's no bad ideas, you got to try something. If it's in your heart, try it. But when assholes pay millions of dollars for it, and it's just plain old objectively bad. I mean, come on. If you fucking paid $1 million for the thing that holds a banana, and you got to replace your own bananas, you got served. You're a fool. You are a fool fuck. And you're just unless you know you're a fool and you're like, I have so much money that I'm gonna be an asshole.
The asshole, wiping his ass with the money, probably.
Yeah. Then in that case, we're the assholes who are making fun of the asshole. Because if I had, okay, say that you have, say to us, right, $20. Say that $20 to us. There's a person out there that can spend $1 million the way that we spend $20. What would you be buying? I would be buying every asshole. I would probably buy the banana shelf. Like, you ever see the video of Michael Jackson when it was one of the documentaries they made of him, and he walks into this crazy antique store in Las Vegas, and the lowest priced thing in the store was $10,000, and he's just walking around and go, "I like that. I want that. I'll take that. I'll take 3 of those. I'll take 6 of those." And he walked out spending $2.2 million just fucking strolling through.
Really?
Yeah.
Uh,
It's incredible. It's just like these crazy vases and all kinds of furniture, and he just is pointing out, and that's a half an afternoon for him just to do that. 2.2 million or some shit like that.
His 2.2 million is our $20.
It's probably $1 to Michael Jackson. I mean, the guy owned the Beatles publishing. That guy could fucking he could buy America if he wanted to. Anyway, all right, back to drones, and let's wrap up drones. Yuki, any more thoughts on drones or the New Jersey drones or just drones in general?
Still, drone mystery thing, but whatever we do, drone should be for, good use, not the war machine. But right now, if we're talking about drone, 99% is about, war machine, no?
Yeah, I also think drone shots in movies are now so overused. There's this it's almost a trope now in, say, an independent horror movie where all in the trailer you'll just see a drone shot and it's following a car down a lonely road. I mean, it's like, enough of that fucking drone shot. No offense. For the first 20 people who did it, that's great, but let's not make this a thing anymore because it's so boring.
Because, the shot is not coming from by reading the script. Shot is coming from, hey, what kind of equipment we have? Oh, we have a drone. Oh, let's make a drone shot.
Right. But I think it's, say for instance, you're making a movie that is set in New York City and you want a cool drone shot of a bridge or something, that's cool because you get an establishing shot. But all the time with this fucking follow a car with a drone, no more cars with drones. Follow a bear with a drone. Follow a fucking fish with a drone.
Couple of years ago, when I was working this movie and talking to the DP, he goes, "Oh, I want this equipment, that equipment." Like, why you ordering, asking a production so many different equipment? Oh, this is a new equipment. It's great. Wait a minute. We don't even have scripted, and how do you know you need this? Isn't supposed to be you read the script first and think about what kind of shot. Then you know what kind of equipment you need. But before anything, you just keep ordering new equipment. That's not the way you shoot the movie. New generation.
That's the words of wisdom from Yuki Nakamura. That's why there's so much wasteful spending on shit. You should design it from the back, not from the imagination forward. You should have the fucking blueprint and then build it.
Right. So I went to producer, like, oh, fire this guy, get somebody else. Otherwise he's asking more money. That's because he wants to use new equipment. He just using your money so he can play with the new toys.
So you tried to get somebody fired over a drone?
Well, it's not drone, it's like a new equipment.
Yuki, you're a rascal. You're a real rascal son of a bitch.
They fired him and we got somebody else.
And the first thing they did was hire a drone operator.
No, the DP.
DP. Drone person. That stands for drone
Yeah,
person,
because
right?
he was ordering and I want this machine, that machine, this equipment, that equipment. I said, why? He was stupid enough to tell me.
Yeah. There was one time I was on something and this guy was adamant. He's like, the jib. We need a jib. They didn't even use the fucking thing. They didn't even know how to put it together. And so what they did, they just like basically got up on a ladder and then did like a panning shot instead of the jib that would come down. So all that wasted time and energy for the fucking jib, didn't even use it.
Yeah, stupid.
All right, that's Drones by Yuki and John. Anything to say to the beautiful people who listen to us?
Yeah, so watch sky if you see drone. Hide.
Okay, good advice. If you see a drone in the sky, you better hide. That's Yuki Nakamura.
And then, John, don't forget to see eye in the sky.
Yes, I put that on my letterbox right now. Eye in the Sky. Helen Mirren. I love it. I'm into it. I'm definitely going to check this shit out. All right. Well, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you to all our beautiful patrons. And thank you to Yuki, who keeps doing this and letting me drone on in his face over and over and over again. We'll be back. We'll see you next time at
The buffet. The drone.
Yuki and John, Patriot of a bird.